Hello everyone, it's me, Pagan Star, and welcome to part 2 of my low poly PS1 style Pumpkaboo Gijinka tutorial. Now in this part, we will be modeling our character that we designed in part 1. So, to start off this tutorial, I would recommend having your character reference handy. I have mine right here. We will be modeling this character in Blender. Blender is an excellent 3D program and it is entirely free. So, getting started, to navigate the viewport in Blender, you click and drag the middle mouse button to rotate around. Press Shift and middle mouse button to pan the view. Press Control and middle mouse button to zoom in and zoom out, or use the scroll wheel to zoom in and zoom out. And getting started, this is known as the default cube. It's a default object generated by Blender. When you open it up, you can change it to another mesh or just have nothing generate in the preferences, but by default, it generates this cube. And now we will be using this cube to make our character. So hit Tab to go into edit mode, and then click at this right here for edge select. Click on this edge, loop cut and slide, and right click to center it. Press 1 on the numpad, and then hit face select, and then X-ray, this right here is X-ray, and then select half of the model, press X, and delete faces. Now we can turn off X-ray, go into modifier properties, add modifier, and mirror. Next, let's go back into edge select, grab this edge right here, right click, loop cut and slide, and right click to put that in the middle. Now, and in our mirror modifier, let's check clipping. Now let's hover over the cube, hit L, and then Shift and D to duplicate the cube. And we will be using this top cube for the chest and this bottom cube for the pelvis. Now, starting out, let's bring up this, and then grab these two edges, pull those in, and then tuck them in like that to round out the shape a little bit. Go into vertex select, grab this vertice right here, pull it up to slope the shoulders. Then let's check our reference. Okay. Maybe pull this out a little bit. Grab this vertice on the bottom, drag that down so it can connect into the pelvis when we make that. Now let's go back into edge select, loop cut, add one up here, grab these two edges, pull that in to make the armpit. Then add another loop cut right there. That. And grab this edge, drag that in. Grab this edge, pull that up, grab this one, pull that in like that to make the spine, since your back is curved and doesn't go straight down. So let's grab these ones in the front to flatten it out a little bit. Put this one up and back. to slope it slightly. Grab this face, extrude it, then edge select, grab this one up here, pull that up, push it out a bit like that. Pull this one back a little bit, pull that one up and inward. Shape our character's boobs. Of course, if your character doesn't have any boobs, feel free to skip this part. Shift and hit Alt to select a ring of faces. Hold that up. Okay, now let's go ahead and grab this vertice, hold that up, and hover over the bottom cube and hit L to select the whole thing. Now let's bring these edges and match them up with the bottom of the chest. Okay, now let's grab these bottom faces, bring that out. Put one up here. Okay, now let's click right on this edge right here, and loop cut and slide to add another edge right there. Let's grab these and bring them in to add some definition to our character's butt. And now let's get rid of some of this excess geometry. Just by grabbing vertice and then grabbing another one, just right click and hit merge at last. Merge vertices and then at last. We can grab the bottom of this, lift up slightly. Let's go ahead and save this. Now, go ahead and add a cylinder. And click on this little thing that says add cylinder. Change vertices to 6. And yeah, just don't freak out about the modifier thing going away. That happens sometimes. I don't know exactly what causes it, but just go back to add modifier and re-add the mirror modifier. Okay. Select the top face and the bottom face and hit poke faces. Now we will be using and duplicating this cylinder to make the arms, the legs, the hands, and the feet. So let's grab that, select it, duplicate it. Stretched out till it looks to be about the right length. And extrude the vertices at the top. And mess around with the placement a little bit. Oh, and if it doesn't accidentally delete the modifier while you're working on this, make sure to uncheck clipping before you drag the cylinder to the side. Otherwise, all it'll do is stretch out the cylinder. Okay, so got this one, cut the slide, and this edge, shrink it down a little bit, bring it into the body a little bit more. Legs, put them back a little bit. Pull that up a little bit, just to add a little bit of definition to the legs and make sure the two legs aren't touching. Okay, playing around with it until it looks good. Grab this bottom one, shrink that down so we can make the knees. Grab this, duplicate it. Get it to be about the right thickness, get it to be about the right length. Grab the top middle vertice and the bottom middle vertice. Pull them out. And grab that. Pull it into place. Try to pull out the knee a little bit so that the IKs will work properly. This bottom one, taper down the leg. Then grab this, loop cut and slide. Add a little bit of definition to the calf. Okay, duplicate that to make foot. Try to match this up, make sure that it matches the size of the bottom of the calf. Alright, now grab these two front faces, extrude them forward. Okay, then grab this edge, grab the scale tool, pull them out a little bit. Grab this one, pull it back like that, maybe a little bit, to sort of get more of a foot type of shape. Pull this down, then pull it inward a little bit to sort of smooth out the shape, make it look a bit less like a block and more like a foot. Okay, yeah, that looks pretty good. So make sure to save that. And now let's go ahead and work on the arms. So what we want to do is grab this, pull it up to make room, then duplicate this, pull it down, shrink it down a little bit until it looks to be about the right thickness, maybe a little bit thicker, and then stretch it out to be about the right length. Now, a good rule of thumb for arms is that the elbow reaches to about the navel or belly button, and the forearm and the upper arm and lower arm are about the same length. So let's go ahead and take that, rotate that 90 degrees so it's going out to the sides. Grab that vertice and that one, pull those out a little bit. Grab that, pull that in like that. Then see if we can get it. Okay, that looks good. Duplicate that. Pull that out. Okay, grab these two, shrink them down a little bit. And since our character is wearing a sweater, I think I'm gonna leave this end a little bit thick like that. Okay. Now, okay. Since the character doesn't really have any like cat ears or horns, this is just her hair. I can go ahead and take this last cylinder and make the hands. So grab this, pull it into place, shrink it down until it looks to be about the right size. Just mess around with the scale a little bit till it looks to be about the right size. Grab the face select tool, grab this face in the front, pull that forward, and grab this edge and this edge and pull those forward until it looks to be about a hand type shape. Grab this bottom edge, extrude that, pull it forward a little bit, grab this face, pull that down a little bit, pull the hand up a little bit, and there we go. Now we have some nice little hands for our character. Okay, go ahead and save that in case Blender crashes. Go ahead and add another cylinder. Like, the other cylinder wouldn't have been of use to us since it was off to the side, and since this is for the neck, we need it to be in the center. Poke faces, go into front view, turn on X-ray, and make sure to delete these faces right here since this model is mirrored. So if we don't delete these faces right here, that'll mean that there will be doubled faces, and that is not good. That makes it harder to do UVs, it makes it harder to edit the topology of the model, and a lot of 3D programs, it's something like that is called non-manifold geometry, and a lot of programs that accept 3D models do not like non-manifold geometry. But Blender is nice enough to accept it, so you can fix it before you export it out. And also, having doubled faces like that can create a lot of really ugly shading problems. Okay, so let's go ahead and fill out the bottom and the top for the neck. Make sure to hit clipping. Bring this down. Okay. I like to shrink. I like to make the top of the neck a little bit thinner to add a little bit of a tapered look, so that it's not just a straight cylinder. Just to make it look a bit more visually interesting. I don't exactly measure people's necks, so I don't know if it is just a cylinder that goes straight up and down or if it tapers or not. Okay, now for the head, let's add a cube, and then right click, subdivide, right click again, and smooth vertices. Turn this all the way up. Now, hit 1 on the numpad to go into front view, hit toggle X-ray, and once again, make sure to delete half of the faces on the model since this is mirrored. So, like, again, you do not want doubled faces. That is really bad. Okay, so once again, let's turn off X-ray. Let's bring this down to shape the head a little bit. Bring this in, round this out a little bit. Round out the head more. Round out the back of the head more. Okay. Hit L to select the whole head. Bring it forward slightly. Grab this face and this face. Hit extrude. And then S to shrink it down. Then grab it and pull it in like that. Then pull it in like that. Pull it down. And we will be using this to form the nose. So we'll grab this edge, pull that up to form the top of the nose. And then this will be the pointy bit of the nose. I don't know what that's called. Just pull that forward. Then grab this, pull this down a little bit. Just adjust it until the nose looks like it's in the right place on the face. Now, widen the nose a little bit. Give my character kind of a wide nose since she's black. Okay. Now we got the nose done. Go ahead and save that out. Okay. Now, all we gotta do now is the hair. So we go ahead and add, for the hair, we can actually use a sphere. So set segments to 6 and rings to 6. Drag that up. And scale it up until it fits nicely on the head. I'm gonna grab these faces and press X and delete faces. Grab these 2 vertices right here, drag those forward so that it doesn't clip through the head. And then select that. Press E to extrude. And then scale. Bring it down like that. So go ahead and grab these 2 sides, pull that out a little bit. And now that we have that done, we can go to X-ray, face select, and delete this half of the faces. I usually like to do that after I add in this part for the head, because otherwise when I try to select this edge, it will go all along here, and that is a real huge pain in the ass to deal with. Alright, so start with her bangs. Since she has like these little bits front right here, let's go ahead and remove the mirror modifier real quick. Oh, actually, can have that on. Just turn off clipping, extrude, so that then pull this in. And then rotate this. Turn that to vertices select. Merge at center. Up and back. Okay, now we've got the first part of the bangs done. Now let's do this cute little curls that frame the face. Grab this face, extrude it out like that. Then grab this face at the top, delete that. Grab this face, extrude it downwards. Extrude it again, curl that inward, pull this forward, pull this forward, and grab this face, extrude, and grab that, vertices at center, pull this forward, up, this edge, pull that up, grab these edges, Now go to vertex select, grab these two vertices, then grab this one, and merge at last. And now we have some cute bangs framing her little face. Good. Okay. There we go. Now for the rest of her fluffy hair. Okay, for this part in the back, I want to grab these three faces. And extrude. Then grab this edge. Let's grab these two faces. Extrude again. And merge vertices at center. Those two edges, pitch those inward. Grab these two edges, well, vertices, pull those upward. Grab this vertice, pull it back. Grab this vertice, pull it out. Now we have the cute bits of fluff. Now, let's add these little ear-like bits. Let's extrude those. Extrude again. Go to vertices. Center. Go to edges. Grab this edge. Rotate that. Pull it up. Now we have her nice, cute ear/horn silhouette. Okay. Now, for this cute little doodad right here, what we want to do is, excuse me, add a torus. Now click Add Torus. Change major segments to 8. Minor segments to 4. Pull this up. If it doesn't make the modifier thing go away, just click the little X. Rotate this like that. Oops. Rotate it by 90 degrees. Let's grab this ring of faces and that ring of faces. Press X to delete faces. Select this little ring of vertices. Merge at center. Let's leave that open. Then grab this ring of vertices. Merge at center. Then sort of grab this and turn on X-ray to make this easier. Kind of twist it around and rotate it and manipulate it. Right. Switch that inward and like that. These vertices, center, and pull it down like that. We'll just have it floating part of our head like that. Go back into X-ray. Delete half. Right. Now go back, put clipping back on, and put the mirror modifier back on. Save this out. Okay. Let's check to make sure we've modeled everything. Okay. Looks like I modeled everything. Alright, now let's go ahead and add the now let's go ahead and add the moth line around me. Let's go ahead and add the seams for the UV map. Okay. Usually for the hair, I try to grab around the, like, separate the front of the bangs from the back of the bangs and try to have a seam running through any large curls. And I try to separate the face from the rest of the head and make sure to grab under the arms and under the hand and grab the end points for the arms, grab the shoulder, grab these points between the, like, the bottom of the chest, the top of the pelvis, the bottom of the pelvis, back of the legs, the end points on the legs, and the bottom of the feet. Then right click and mark seam. Go ahead and toggle X-ray mode, select everything, drag this little partition thing up, go to editor type, UV editor, click on UV, hit unwrap. Let's check for any overlapping UVs, because each of these pieces is called a UV island, and each island represents part of the surface of your model, and any parts that overlap, any texture on those parts, on any texture on any bits of the UV that overlap will cover both parts of the model that these UVs represent. So, unless you specifically want two parts of your model to share the same UV, I would recommend that you try I would recommend that you try to clear any overlapping parts. Okay, so I'll just grab that out like that. Okay, now select the whole thing, hit G to grab it, move to the side. That's fine. For UVing, I like to start with the head and move downward, so first I'll grab the face, bring that over here, just like hover over the piece and hit L to grab the whole thing, then grab that, hit R to rotate, and S to scale it, and I like to bring that up to be at least the size of one of these larger grid squares. Now let's go ahead and grab the back of the head. Oops. Make sure to click out to deselect that, grab the back of the head, put that up here. Next, grab the neck, put that in, then the chest, put that on there, and then the pelvis, put that on there. And try to make sure to leave some space in between each island in case, so that there won't be any problem with bleeding on the texture map. Which, bleeding is essentially when colors sort of like, kind of like imagine when you you sort of like pen or marker on a piece of paper, and sort of like the pen sort of oozes out to outside of the crisp line you were going for. That's what I'm talking about. And for these little bits right here, these are essentially just the end pieces for the arms and the legs. So I can just kind of shrink these down to fit on here. Like, you want to give the most real estate on your limited UV space to more important parts of the texture, like the face or the hair or any designs on the body, sort of like little end points, like between the chest and the pelvis, or at the ends of the wrists or knees, or whatever, or anything like that is not really as important. Okay, now that we have everything on there, hit export UV layout. Now I usually like to save out my textures at a nice large size, like 2048, because it is easier to downscale a high resolution texture than it is to upscale a low resolution texture. So I can have my nice, beautiful, high-res textures on my low poly model that look really awesome, and I can also, and since I have the higher res version, I can downscale that to make it more authentic looking textures. Okay, so let's go ahead and save this out as Pumpkaboo. Well, Pumpkaboo text for texture. Export that. Drag this back down. Hit 1 on the numpad. Put it into front view. While you still have the full model selected, drag it up to stand on this little red line, so that if you use this model in any other program, it'll look like the model is standing on the floor rather than clipping through it. Okay, so now we can deselect that, turn off X-ray mode, tab out of edit mode, and we can apply this mirror modifier since we already did the UV map, and we right click and shade smooth. Right, make sure to save that. And that does it for part 2 of this tutorial. In the next part, we will be texturing our character. So that does it for this video. Thank you so very much for watching. Have a nice day.